So I'm from Chicago and have always been doing a lot of community work. So some of my friends over time in the early 2000s were public allies themselves. So when I worked at the Boys and Girls Clubs and other nonprofit organizations over the years, I was always engaged with public allies, either through people who were in the program or through a partnership of some kind in nonprofit world. And so when I worked at the Gary Comer Youth Center, it just seemed like it's a natural fit for us to engage allies once the youth center opened. So the youth center is a lot younger than public allies. So once we were on our feet, we were able to then partner with public allies.
I think at my time at Gary Comer, we would have worked with somewhere around 10 to 15 allies. I don't know the exact count, but they were an integral part to the work that we were doing. We relied heavily on public allies for the work. And for many of the years that I was there, we were lucky enough to bring we had a Bring Your Own Ally program where we identified graduates of Gary Comer to serve as public allies and to work with our alumni support team.
When I had an ally placed with me, I was working at the Garfield Park Conservatory, which is on the west side of Chicago. And actually, ironically enough, I was hired there by someone who was on staff at Public Allies. And so it was that individual who probably also brought on two other public allies to work at Garfield Park Conservatory in different years.
I hired two different allies in my time at my organization, and both of them went on to be full-time team members. We would have hired additional allies if that had not been the case.
I would certainly recommend public allies to any organization. Again, there's a wealth of resources, connections, capacity building supports that's provided to an organization or business. Along with the training that allies receive that can bring to help organizations move the needle in various aspects.
I'd highly recommend organizations work with public allies. I think as an AmeriCorps alum myself, I know how important participating in programs like public allies were to my own career trajectory. And then on the flip side of that, being someone who's hired and worked with and placed allies over the years, I know what a critical support they were to our organization. So I think it's a really unique model that provides both really important and transformative career exposure and kind of that first step to many recent college graduates and young professionals, and does so by providing much needed capacity to community-based organizations that are doing great work in the city.
I would recommend public allies to partner organizations who are considering working with allies. They are enthusiastic young people who really can support your organization and work with your youth, your population, whatever the focus area might be of your organization, and enhance your programming.
In terms of the allies, their understanding of what's happening in the community, oftentimes I wouldn't have to teach the public allies about that. They kind of came in understanding the issues that impact the community, the people that we're working with. Public allies as an organization and the allies as individuals did not come into the neighborhood as if they were providing some sort of charity. They understood that it was more so around being an asset to the community and building the community.
I think other organizations should definitely partner with public allies because you get a lot of great and amazing employees for 10 months, but they're extremely competent, have wonderful and fresh ideas, and they're hard workers.
In terms of the leadership that public allies come out with after they finish their term with public allies is unmatched, because you have a person now who has a stronger cultural competency. They understand what needs to happen wherever they are. They're very, very thoughtful and also are folks who end up being really intentional about what needs to happen for the people around them. So they're just better people. And we need better people to be leaders, not just in terms of the hard skills, but it's really the so-called soft skills that Public Allies teaches the allies so that they are better leaders for us.
Congratulations, Public Allies, on 30 great years.
Public Allies Chicago, happy 30th anniversary.
Congratulations to Public Allies Chicago for your 30th anniversary year, changing lives for 30 years.
Public Allies Chicago, I would like to wish you an amazing, wonderful, happy anniversary. I'm glad you're still around. I can't wait to see and learn about new and great things that you're doing this year and the years to come.
I want to give a heartfelt congratulations to Public Allies with 30 years of service. You have really, really impacted the city of Chicago in ways that you probably will never know. And I hope and I pray, and I also want to send positive vibes for Public Allies to continue this work for 30, 60, 90 more years for the city of Chicago. As long as there's a need, we know Public Allies will be there.